Hello friends, my name is Kirsten McNeil and I am an aspiring writer. I will soon have my debut novel published, self-published on Amazon Kindle, which is very exciting. This is the second video of a series that I'm creating to give people a taste of my book and just help them get to know me. And yeah, if you watched the first video, you'll know all this stuff already. This is the second video, which is technically the first because it's about the first story in my novel. So this story, it's called It's Not What It Looks Like. It's about this girl who has a behavioral disorder, and she's coming back to school for the first time, and you'll get to know more about the incident that occurred that took her out of school throughout the story. But yeah, she's basically very scared and alone. She's kind of lost all her friends as everybody's kind of turned on her. And yeah, so I will read you the first two pages. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of what it's about. And so let's get started. Alright, the first line is spoken by the dad. I'm not going to do voices or anything, but I'll try to make it as interesting as possible. It won't be too monotone, hopefully. Are you sure you don't want to take your soccer equipment, Pumpkin? Dad gestured to the duffel bag in the back seat of the Prius with his thumb. If you ask me that again, I'll jump in front of that school bus. Leanne. I looked up at him, and a pang of guilt stung my heart. Sorry, Daddy. They won't want me back on the team, especially since the season's ending. Please stop. Today's been hard enough. I opened the car door and stepped onto the curb. I can take you back to your mom's, Dad suggested as he leaned across the passenger seat. I'm sure she'd love to keep teaching you at home. No, I'll be fine. Okay, I love you. Do you need me to pick you up too? The bus is fine. Okay, see you at 4. He blew me a kiss and drove off before I could return the favor. Not that I would. The kid didn't need another reason to hate me. Every inch of my body shivered as I walked down the hallway. The whispers and stares of the other students seeped through my skin and burned my insides. The butterflies hit the edges of my stomach. I could either throw them up or digest them. Confidence is key when you come back to a setting like that. I was away for 7 months. I'm still undergoing treatment, but the doctors said I was healthy enough to return to school. I didn't agree, but I was too afraid to say so. My parents desperately wanted me with my friends again. I didn't even know if I had friends anymore. They weren't able to visit me at the hospital. Hey, Leanne. Carter Prescott walked up to me and wrapped her big fat arms around my neck. I want to welcome you back to school. And on behalf of everyone, I sincerely hope you're much healthier now. Yeah, only because she was afraid of me. Is it a rule of every student council president to be as fake and nice as possible? She wanted to make sure I wouldn't tackle anyone to the ground, specifically her best friend, Talia. Should have gone to apologize right away, but I wasn't about to give myself any more stress than necessary. Hi, Carter. I huffed as she squeezed me tightly. Surprised you remember my name. How could I forget? She pulled away, relieving my lungs. You were the talk of the school for months. She bit her lip, a sign she wanted to keep talking and didn't want to insult me yet. I'm supposed to help you transition back into school life. It must be hard coming back so late in the year. How was your spring break? That was a stupid question, I mumbled. Luckily she didn't hear me, or wasn't paying attention. She continued to chatter on about everything I'd missed in September. Carter looped her arm around mine and dragged me towards the cafeteria. I panicked when I saw her steering me to her group of friends. Talia, Rufus, Skylar, and Charlie stared at me like they were looking at a ghost. Look who's back, everyone, Carter beamed. She placed both hands on my shoulders. It was like she sensed I wanted to run. Her group smiled weakly and mumbled hellos and probably some profanity. She pushed me onto the metal bench of the lunch table and I cringed. That was the same place I attacked my classmates. School was only 2 weeks in and my brain had completely shut off. It wasn't in summer mode. I knew what summer mode felt like. It was different from before. That summer was rough. My parents were in the middle of a messy divorce. They kept fighting over who I would live with. I was in the room with them most of the time. Neither of them bothered to ask my opinion. I barely slept all summer because I constantly heard their screaming. I tried calling my sister. I was on vacation with friends, but she rarely picked up. When she did, it was to tell me to stop calling because she was too busy to deal with my teenage problems. My friends, Harper and Charlotte, wouldn't call me back either. They were in Fiji with Harper's parents. I was invited to go, but I couldn't afford the flight and hotel costs. Harper's parents were rich, but they weren't charitable when it didn't benefit them directly. They could have fronted me with the cash, but I doubt they believed I could pay them back. I had planned on getting a job, but then my little incident happened. When I returned to school, my entire system was out of whack. I couldn't focus on the work, anything my friends said was irritating, and my parents wouldn't stop fighting. I got dragged between our house and Dad's condo. I was 16, for Christ's sake. You'd think they'd let me decide where I wanted to stay. My friends kept talking about Fiji and how I should have been there. Every word coming out of their mouths was like poison in my veins. Couldn't believe how insensitive they were. Charlotte had the gall to tell me they almost bought me a wooden turtle figurine, but her mom said it wasn't worth it. Why would she bother telling me if she wasn't giving me something? Not that I needed anything, but it still hurt. At lunch, on the day of the incident, I was sitting at the table minding my own business. Everyone was ranting and raving about how happy they were to be at school. They cheered about their grades, their school clubs I couldn't wait to get to, and the school dance coming up. My grades were shitty. I only belonged to the local volunteers club because Harper forced me, and I'd never been to a school dance. No one ever asked me anyway. Soccer was a bust too, since tryouts weren't for another 2 months. I was never very good, so I was glad I couldn't be on the team. The only reason I made it in the past was lack of willing participants. Being surrounded by happiness boiled my blood. My heart thumped like a jackhammer. My breathing was loud and my brain felt hazy. The next thing I knew, all I could see was red. I stood up and slammed my fists on the table, making my friends jump. Talia, sitting at the table behind us, made a remark about calming down. That was her fatal mistake. I swung my arm around and clocked her in the nose. She screamed, and Rufus, her valiant protector, ran to her aid. Well, that's where I'm going to stop. That's the first 2 pages of the first story of the book. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed writing it, though I didn't enjoy editing, but that's not the point. So the next episode, or whatever, of this series will be the next story, and so on from there. I will post them every Wednesdays and Saturdays. I hope you follow along on this journey, and when I finally publish it, I hope you will be excited to buy it. Thank you. See you later.